Now, you won't believe what CNN did with a plastic water bottle. They dunked it into a pool, sent it off to a lab, and turned a small bottle of green water into a full-blown investigative report. And what's it about? Well, it's about how the same network, covering the exact same reflecting pool 13 years apart, somehow found two completely different stories to tell, depending entirely on whose name was on the renovation. And if you stick with me till the end of this video, you're going to see footage that puts the contrast side by side, and you'll never watch CNN's objective reporting the same way again. Let's get into it. All right, guys, welcome back to RPW Media, where we're MAGA first, conservative second, Republican third, with the goal of bringing you the most honest news coverage of the day. Look, if you're new, like, subscribe, and comment, and thank you and welcome. So here's a fun little experiment for you. Take one reflecting pool, add water, wait a few days. What do you get? Algae. Shocking, I know. Truly a mystery for the ages. One that has stumped the greatest scientific minds at the National Park Service for over a century. All right, come on. Depending on which administration happens to be in office, when that algae shows up, CNN apparently experiences this phenomenon completely differently. Almost like they're watching two different pools. Let's set the scene. Donald Trump wanted the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool fixed up before the country's 250th anniversary. It was a noble endeavor. Renovation gets done, pool reopens on June 6th, and on June 17th, you guessed it, algae shows up. CNN was there with a microphone and apparently a chemistry set because they didn't just report on it, they tested the water. You think I'm kidding? Give this a watch.
And we're going to scoop up a water sample to see if we can get this tested.
CNN independently took the sample of water and consulted with a pool store that regularly tests water to help read the results. It showed phosphate levels far higher than what is recommended to keep algae at bay based on estimates for a pool that holds 6.5 million gallons of water.
If there's already some phosphate fertilizer in the water, that's really opportunistic, especially for the blue-green algae that can fix nitrogen. So they are...
Guys, CNN's correspondent literally dunked a small bottle of water into the pool, shipped the sample off, and came back reporting on phosphate levels. Phosphate levels in a decorative pool that nobody swims in. The algae specialist was rolled out to explain that the algae was, quote, having a field day. Now, let's rewind the tape. We'll go all the way back to 2012. Same pool, same problem, different president. The Obama administration spent about $34 million, more than double what Trump's project cost, by the way, on an 18-month renovation of that same reflecting pool. And what happened when it reopened? Well, you guessed it, there was algae, bird droppings. Reportedly, around 80 dead ducks were found in a 2-day span. So how did CNN cover the algae 13 years ago compared to how they tried to make it seem like Trump did something wrong and people could get hurt? Well, let's go to the tape.
There's plenty to take pictures of in downtown Washington, D.C. The Lincoln Memorial, the World War II Memorial, and then there's this. Folks snapping photos of the reflecting pool.
It's really sludgy up this end.
And what's in it?
It's disgusting. It's not right.
Algae.
It's like, it smells like wet dog down here, you know. When my dog came home from a stream, he always smelled like this, so it's gross.
The Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool reopened at the end of August to great fanfare after a $34 million renovation that lasted nearly 2 years. But less than a month later, the famous pool of water is full of algae. Algae are simple organisms that thrive in areas where there is heat and sunlight. You have plenty of that here.
The water may not look great, but it doesn't pose a health or safety hazard. It's really just...
You hear this?
The yuck factor.
So in other words, it's the yuck factor. No algae specialist breaking down phosphate chemistry on live TV. No multi-part investigative arc. No panel of pundits dissecting whether the Obama administration had botched anything. Just woes. Mild, forgettable woes. Same algae, same pool, same network. Compare those two tones side by side and tell me that they sound like they're covering the same kind of story. Look, to be fair, CNN here, in their own recent reporting on Trump's pool, they actually do bring up the 2012 Obama renovation, usually by quoting Trump's officials trashing it. So it's not like they've erased it from history, but there's a difference between mentioning a fact in passing and treating it with the same investigative intensity you're applying to get the guy currently in office. 13 years ago, Woes was good enough. Now we need lab results. And that's really the whole story here, isn't it? It was never about the algae. The algae doesn't care who's president. The algae doesn't read the damn news. The algae is going to show up in a shallow, stagnant outdoor pool every single time, regardless of which party is in power. What changes is the lens CNN points at it. Now, look, I'll give CNN this much. None of what they reported was fabricated, for once. The phosphate levels were real. The peeling paint was real, although the arrests, there were 5 arrests that were made of people who were trying to vandalize it. That was real. Nobody's saying CNN made things up here. What I am saying is that journalism isn't just about what's true. It's about what you choose to emphasize in that context that you include and what tone you wrap around it. A technically accurate story can still leave you with a wildly different impression than the full picture would give you. And that's selective framing. It's not straight reporting. It's what CNN does. And I've just shown you how it works. So here's the bright side in all of this. The pool is going to get fixed. It always does. Algae always loses eventually, no matter who's in the Oval Office. And every time a story like this comes along, more and more people pull back the curtain and start asking the same question that we're asking right now. Why does the coverage change when the only thing that changed is the name on the door? Now, that's a good thing. Skepticism is healthy. Questions are healthy. The more people who start noticing the pattern, the harder it gets for any network to get away with it. So tell me what you think in the comments below. I want to hear from you. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.